Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is November 16, 2023, and the former police commissioner Villarejo is insisting that he does have evidence that proves that Real Madrid bribed referees. Also, Barcelona are currently tracking a Dutch pivot as a possible signing in the upcoming summer transfer market. And finally, reports out of Turkey are insisting that İlkay Gundogan would like to play in Galatasaray before he retires. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and before we begin with the news, I would just like to remind you to please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. All of this go a long way in helping this channel continue to grow. Also, if you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure you hit the kit bag. And if you are looking to place any sports bets, make sure you hit the Bet Us. Both links are down below in the description. Now, I'll begin with the news that the former police commissioner Villarejo is insisting that he does have evidence that proves that Real Madrid did indeed bribe referees. Now, the former police commissioner, José Manuel Villarejo, is someone that I talked about in my previous videos. He was the Spanish government's henchman, someone that the Spanish government used to do their dirty work. And back in 2017, when the Catalan movement for independence was catching steam, Villarejo was assigned by the Spanish government to spy on Catalan independence movement, infiltrate those movements in order to discredit them and to make sure that the Catalan independence movement failed. Now, Villarejo was also hired by the Spanish government in order to spy on FC Barcelona, since Barcelona is a Catalan institution. And while he was spying on the club, he did report to his higher-ups that he had found information that corroborate that Real Madrid were bribing referees. Now, Villarejo alleges that because Real Madrid are the institution that they are in Spain, those reports were dismissed and those reports by him went nowhere. And he revealed that in an interview about, I think it was a month or 2 months ago, and that prompted Florentino Perez to file a lawsuit against Villarejo. Well, Villarejo now has given a new interview where he's insisting that Real Madrid did bribe referees, and he said that his report and all the documentation that he had collected are currently in the file that he presented to his higher-ups, which of course he doesn't have access to because he is the former police commissioner now and he's no longer involved with the government. Now, Villarejo also insisted that he knows thousands of people who have given their testimony to him who can corroborate the same fact that Real Madrid did indeed bribe referees. And Villarejo says that if the file that he presented to the government is unclassified, then the truth would come to light. Now, of course, I'm not going to do here in the channel what other Madrid channels do or what other rotten Madrid media do, which immediately accuse Barcelona of bribing referees despite there being no evidence. And since there is no evidence here, I'm not going to jump the gun and say that yes, Real Madrid are guilty of bribing referees until, of course, I see concrete evidence. But as always, I do like to hear from you. What do you guys think? Do you think José Manuel Villarejo is telling the truth, or do you think he's making up these lies? Let me know down below in the comment section. Now, on to the news that Barcelona have already started planning the contract renewal of several players in 2024. Now, as I reported previously, Barcelona are not only in the market in the lookout for young talent that they can sign, but they also want to secure the young talent that they currently have, young players who Barcelona consider as the core of the team. And as such, Barcelona have already renewed several of those players, including Lamine Yamal, Alejandro Balde, and Fermin Lopez. And Barcelona have now turned their attention on the remainder young players in the squad, which are Pedri, Gavi, Ronald Araujo, and Frankie de Jong, who Barcelona are all planning to renew in the upcoming months. Now, in regards to Frankie de Jong, Barcelona have been trying to renew the contract of the Dutch midfielder for quite some time. They want to extend his contract for 6 years, where during the first 3 years, he would accept to defer his salary, and during the final 3 years, he would accept a salary reduction, and he would also get paid those salary deferments from the first half of the contract. But so far, Barcelona have been unsuccessful to get Frankie de Jong to the negotiation tables. Because it's reported that Frankie de Jong is still hurt about how Barcelona tried to push him out of the club in the summer of 2022. Now, Barcelona have reportedly scheduled the contract negotiations for Frenkie de Jong for the next year in 2024, where Deco has already communicated to Frenkie de Jong that this is not the same situation as before, because it was Matteo Alemany who was looking to push Frenkie de Jong out of the club. But Deco would like to see Frenkie de Jong stay, and he has made that clear to him and his entourage, letting them know that Frenkie de Jong is an indispensable player for the club. Now, speaking of midfielders, as reported in a previous video, Barcelona are considering, amongst other players, Florentino Luis as a possible candidate for the pivot position in the upcoming summer. And while this was confirmed today by the player's own agent. Now, Florentino Luis is a 24-year-old pivot who currently plays in Benfica and has been having a really good time in the Portuguese league. And as such, he caught the attention of Barcelona, who did try to sign him this past summer. But unfortunately, Benfica decided to keep the player, so Barcelona were unable to complete this transfer. Now, Florentino Luis confirmed that Barcelona are indeed interested in signing Florentino Luis, who does have a 120 million euro release clause. But as the player's agent confirmed, Barcelona were confident that they can negotiate a 40 million euro transfer fee for the player. But again, Benfica decided to keep the player, and as such, Barcelona, who according to the player's agent were the closest one to signing him, but unfortunately were unable to complete this signing. Now, Florentino Luis is still on the list of possible pivots or candidates for the pivot position in the upcoming summer, because it's reported that Deco is a big fan of the player and that Xavi also likes the player and would like to have him on his team. But of course, again, his very high release clause and difficult financial situation that the club are going through does make this signing a bit improbable. Now, speaking of pivots, it's reported that Barcelona have identified a new target or a new possible candidate for the pivot position, and his name is Matt Wiefer. Now, Matt Wiefer is a 24-year-old Dutch midfielder who currently plays in Feyenoord. It's reported that Barcelona have been tracking this player since the beginning of this year, and in fact, they have watched him play live on several occasions, including in the Champions League match where Feyenoord played against Atletico de Madrid in the Spanish capital. Now, it's reported that Matt Wiefer ticks off many of the boxes that Barcelona are looking for in a pivot position, including really great spatial awareness and ball control. He's also described as a player who can really intercept those transitions or offensive transitions by the opposing team. And finally, he's a player who's a creative force as far as the offense. Now, Matt Wiefer does have a contract expiration date of 2027, so negotiating for him, of course, will be difficult, but it's reported that he is one of the lower cost options for Barcelona, and that Barcelona are keeping their eye on this player who could be signing for Barcelona in the upcoming summer. Now, while we're still on the topic of midfielders, we'll end today's video with the news that several journalists in Turkey are reporting that İlkay Gundogan would like to play in Galatasaray before he retires. Now, these reports state that İlkay Gundogan has been a fan of Galatasaray ever since he was a little kid, because of course he does have Turkish ancestry, and it's reported that İlkay Gundogan would love to play for Galatasaray before he retires, and as such, his entourage had met with Galatasaray most recent to try to see the possibility of İlkay Gundogan joining Galatasaray. And it was also reported that Galatasaray had informed İlkay Gundogan's entourage that they will do everything in their power to persuade Barcelona in order to sign the Turkish-German midfielder. Well, after these reports spread through the media like wildfire, İlkay Gundogan's agent, who's also his uncle, immediately came out and denied those reports when he said, "The reports in the press these days about İlkay do not reflect the truth. I did not meet anyone from Galatasaray before the Bayern Munich game to talk about İlkay. There was no development, meeting, or anything that came to us in this regard. I want to make this clear. Neither I nor İlkay can understand how this news came about. İlkay is very happy at Barcelona and is focused on what he wants to achieve there and on his goals." So İlkay Gundogan's agent completely denying these reports. So if you did come across any of these reports, don't worry, İlkay Gundogan is not leaving to Galatasaray. He will be staying in Barcelona for at least until 2025, which is when his contract is set to expire. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like. Also, I'd like to invite all of you to please leave a comment down below, giving me all your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you. And finally, I would like to invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel so you can stay current on all the latest news in regards to our beloved club, FC Barcelona. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. And as always, Visca Barça.